Today on Plums, we have Soto, the founder of Tellura. We talk about the copper solar compute thesis, big booty Latinos, and so much more. Let's get to the episode. Ooh. Soto, it's fantastic to have you on Plums today. Now, Soto, you're a serial entrepreneur, the founder of Tellura, this protocol bringing copper, sunshine, compute on-chain. You're a friend of the show, a friend of mine, and I have to admit this to you now, Soto, and I don't know if you know this, but so we've known each other for like 5 years, I'm going to guess, and for at least 4.5 of those, I've called you Solo. Did you notice this?
Yeah, I noticed. I think some other people also noticed, but it's okay. It's totally fine. You can call me Solo still. It's okay.
It's so funny. That's funny that other people noticed as well. But it took me ages to realize. And the only reason that I realized is I really struggled tagging you. And I don't know why I couldn't see the T, but I always thought it was an L.
Nah.
And when I was trying to message you, I'm like, why does it come up but only with SO and not with the L? Super weird.
Yeah.
So funny.
That's so funny.
So, look, I got your name wrong for so long, and it makes me wonder what else have I been wrong about? So we're going to play a game now. Before we play the game, where we're going to learn about other things that Berry has been hilariously wrong about, just give us a 30-second elevator pitch on Tellura. Just tell us in your own words what it is.
Okay, so Tellura aims to bring commodities on chain. We are starting with metals, specifically with copper, because we believe that copper is one of the bottlenecks for AI and robotics. And also we believe that the war is coming on chain. So we need to tokenize these raw materials that are needed to this new revolution technology like EVs, solar farm, and data centers. So yeah, we have commodities and metals. We are starting with that.
Yeah, awesome. Incredibly bullish stuff. And we're going to talk more about that in a minute. But yeah, I want to play this game. So essentially, I'm going to say a statement. And you have to figure out, did Berry really think this? Okay? So it's either true or false. So the first one, I used to think the word chimney was actually chimley with an L, so an L instead of an M. Is that true or false?
I believe it's true, probably.
That is true. I mean, it's exactly the same thing as the Soto thing.
It really
right?
is the same thing, yeah.
And so I must have been like a teenager, and someone, and literally, I remember the moment I was in a pool and someone said chimney, and I'm like, don't you mean chimley? And they're like, no. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's a chimney. Anyway, right, okay. So the next one. I used to think that deja vu was a French pastry until I tried to order it in a cafe. True or false?
No, that can't be true.
It can't be true. It isn't true. That's false.
It can be true. That's too much. That's too much.
That's too much. Okay. But yeah, okay. If you think that's too much, get ready. Because next up, I thought Enrique Iglesias and Ricky Martin were somehow blood relatives. True or false?
It could be true.
It is true.
Definitely.
I spent literally years thinking this. Why? I have no idea. I don't know. I guess it's like here, we didn't hear that kind of music growing up. And then when I heard two people doing it, I'm like, well, clearly they're must be related somehow.
They are related, yeah. Of course.
Okay.
Makes sense.
So that was true. Okay, next up. I thought Wi-Fi, because I'd only ever read it, was pronounced Wi-Fi. True or false?
I think it's true.
Oh, that one's a false one. That was my auntie, and we still laugh and make fun of her now, and we say it in our family Wi-Fi sometimes just to make fun of her. Okay, but good guess. Okay, next one. I once went on a date with a girl without realizing it was a date. And so my wife was really angry with me. True or false?
Nah, false.
That's true.
It can be true. No, no, that's terrible.
Yeah, my wife's gonna kill me. So this is,
how does that happen? Like,
I know. So,
that's good.
so this was back when I was a politician, right? And I used to go and speak at places all the time. And I did it like a speech in front of loads of people. And, this one woman was like, oh, that was really interesting. I'm super interested in what you're doing. We should have lunch sometime, right? And I was like, yeah, cool.
Okay.
Let's do that, right? I'd love to do that. So she was then my girlfriend. I'm like, hey, I'm going for lunch. She's like, what the fuck? Why? Why are you doing that? And I was like, well,
with a girl, yeah,
it's work. It's she wants to know more about the political process and things. She's like, no, that's definitely a date. And I was like, no, she wants to know about politics. Anyway, so I go.
Of course.
So just me being a flipping retard autist. So I go and I'm there like, hey, what are you? And I talk to it, and then it became very clear to me that she thought it was a date, and I'm like, oh damn, no. And so I had to explain, and obviously she didn't know I had a serious partner at the time. Like, yeah, why would I go on a date if I had a serious partner? Because I'm a retard. So yeah, and then I went home and I told my wife, my girlfriend, and she was like, yep. Don't do that again. I was like, yeah, okay, cool. So there you go. Okay. Berry. I thought USB sticks needed recharging. So I used to leave them in overnight on my computer to charge.
True.
That's false. Yeah, Berry is.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, next one. I used to think if you collected all of the Pokemon cards, the Pokemon people would give you $1 million.
False.
Okay,
no,
I did think that. I was only like 13 or something.
Stop it. No.
I think it must have been like a playground rumor or something. And I just thought,
okay, you were
I was a little kid.
You were a kid then.
Yeah. Just to be clear,
it makes sense.
I was a kid with the chimney thing as well. And actually,
okay.
I might have been quite old by the time I figured out that Enrique Iglesias, Ricky Martin weren't. Anyway. And when I went on that date, that was like 9 years ago or something. Anyway, right, okay. So, next up. I genuinely thought you could get pregnant from anal sex with a woman.
No. It can be true. It is. It is.
Bro.
No.
Yeah, Berry. Oh, so
Berry.
Let me tell you how this happened. Okay, there's a real story about how this came to be. Okay. So I moved schools a few times, and so I missed out on sex education in the state school. I went to a private school. I missed it there because I then moved to another one, and so I had sex education late, and we only had like one lesson, right? Anyway, in this lesson, we were all sat in this kind of common room, like all round on couches, and the teacher was telling us stuff. And she was explaining why you should use protection with anal sex, right? And one of the girls said, oh, and it's because you can also get pregnant. And the teacher went, oh, yes, it is. And it's because they were trying to, push the point that you definitely still needed to use protection even with anal sex, right? But I was like, okay, cool, the teacher's told me this. And so I'm like, I don't know how. Where is the root? I don't understand that bit.
But it happens.
The teacher told me. So, lol. Okay. For anyone listening, I was wrong about that. You can't, don't worry. Well, do worry about it. But anyway. Okay, so. Right, final one. I thought Latino was gender neutral.
Could be, yeah.
That is true.
I mean,
so
yeah, of course.
This is one of those occasions where I'm glad that my mum doesn't watch this. So I was looking for big booty Latinos on the websites and being like, what's this? I asked a friend, I'm like, why can't I get what I'm looking for here? And he's like, you dumbass, Berry. You need to put in big booty Latinas. It's gender specific. I'm like, okay, this makes sense now. Okay. Oh, Soto, right. So there you go. That's a fun game. Oh, Berry. So
last one was insane.
What?
The last one was insane. Like I can imagine that happening to you. Like, okay.
Yeah, don't imagine Berry, searching for that. Don't do that. Okay.
Looking for Latinos.
Big booty Latinos. Let's go. So, okay, getting serious for a minute now. What misconceptions do you think people have about Chile? Tell me about some misconceptions that people might have about Chile.
I don't really know if too much people know about Chile, to be honest. But maybe, I don't know, that Chile is like a Latin American country where people like dance or like it's super like salsa music and kind of that. But actually, Chilean people is like super chill. They're like super shy, and honestly, I don't think too many people know about it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've been surprised when we've been having conversations about, the developments that are happening in Chile, specifically around, metals like copper, solar like data centers. And you just wouldn't imagine. No one would imagine that Chile is becoming a center for these key industries.
Yeah.
And, you were able to tell me about, why that's happening. Maybe just, just tell me again, why is Chile becoming such a hot spot for these industries?
I think it's because in Chile, there's like a super huge and developed digital infrastructure. Like we have the internet cable, it's like a big wire under the ocean that it connects us directly with Asia. And also we have like a super developed like digital infrastructure, as I said, super high speed bandwidth and all of that. It's like one of the tops in the world, probably around top 1 or 2 with Singapore. So that's pretty crazy to think about it. And also specifically with solar, we have like the biggest and the best solar irradiance zone in the world. So we can have like half of the country completely filled with solar panels. Kind of what China does right now. I don't know if you have seen like those images or the graphics of electricity production from China. So if you have right now an industry that needs a lot of power, a lot of electricity, you can just like fill thousands and thousands of kilometers with solar panels and you will have it. That's it. You can have like nuclear right now, but you can have a shit ton of solar panels powering AI. So, yep, I think that sums it up.
Yeah, and that solar power that's being generated is then being used, because all these, big AI companies, all these data centers, they're incentivized to use renewables. And they're like, okay, well, we need to be where that digital infrastructure is, where that solar is. And so they're like, okay, let's go to Chile, right?
Yeah, also because Chile is probably one of the most developed countries in Latin America. And so we have had like internet from almost the same time as the US. We also had like, this is super curious, like digital bank transfers is from like the early 2000s. Like even we are more digitalized than some places in Europe or the US, even before it arrived in there. So I will say that we have super good connections with like Google, Microsoft, from like decades ago. So it's not right now that this is happening. It's just right now that AI is happening, that they're looking somewhere else than the US, I think.
Yeah. I think, when thinking about Tellura, what you're building, this thesis of copper solar irradiation through, collecting it through solar panels, and then compute. Other people have been able to, connect those dots before, but I think you being in Chile can just see it because it's literally there, right? It's like, okay, we're a major copper producer, mining, refining, etc. Then we're a major now solar powerhouse in the world, and then we're now building this compute thing, and you see it with your own eyes, and you're like, okay, more people need access to this, to the benefits, to the upside, right? Because copper demand is going through the roof. And so, the price is likely to rise over the next couple of decades. Okay, well, how can people around the world, let alone in Chile, get access to this, right? And then same with solar. It's like, okay, well, I can. I literally do have invested hundreds of thousands in solar, but most people can't, right? And so it's like, how can you get access to, the increase in solar? And then equally, it is phenomenally hard, and I try incredibly hard to get AI adjacent investments, or even investments in AI, right? They're really hard to come by. And, it's so being able to eventually, your vision is to be able to move into compute as well, to kind of close that loop. Look, we're going to get more onto, the protocol and what you're building and your thesis in a minute. On Plums, we love to have an interlude. Now, Ray J. Ray J's big, and the Monad community is big at making AI-generated things. And sometimes things do land on the cutting room floor. And he produced 2 short videos, which weren't kind of published formally, but he did put out there and say, look at this. And he put together like these short clips of a soap opera, like a Spanish soap opera featuring me, but I don't know what is said in them. So Soto, I'm hoping that we can watch them together and you can give me kind of like a general gist of what is going on in these clips. So let's roll the tapes.
Buenas noches, señor. ¿Qué haces mirando la sierra, Ernesto? Ni siquiera disimulas.
Teresa, yo solo...
¡Solo nada! ¡Eres un descarado! ¡Frente a mí! Señora, mejor me... Sí, vete y tú métete en tu sitio.
What is going on there?
Just looking at men's boob. Nah, but just looking at the girl's boob.
Right.
That's basically...
I was. The ginger guy.
Yeah. He's looking at Latinas boobs. That's it.
Okay, good. And I'm being scolded by my wife. Okay, good. So that's clip number 1.
Yeah. It's like
being told off for looking at another woman's boobs.
Based on total real facts actually happened. So 100% accurate.
So next clip.
¿Qué estás mirando, Berry? ¿A esa cualquiera? Delante de mí. Eres un descarado. Después de todo lo que yo he hecho por ti.
No es lo que piensas. Mi esposa me va a matar.
So what's
it's
happening
the same
here?
scene, and he said, "My wife is going to kill me."
Yeah.
That's the end. He's still looking at the girl. Yeah.
Good.
It's funny because it's accurate.
It is. Oh, my wife is going to kill me. It's such a good meme. Okay.
Exactly. That's it.
Yeah, well, I mean, she will if I keep going on dates and looking up flipping Latino booties. Right. Thankfully, she doesn't watch this either. Funnily enough, at home on the TV, we watch a lot of YouTube. And these do come up, and the kids are like, "Oh, look, Daddy, you're on the TV," and I'm like, "Don't watch it."
Don't watch it. Maybe when you are older, you will know the truth. But right now,
yeah, we can.
Okay.
Oh, snap. Okay,
Super
so
then.
look, being a redhead, sometimes I get called a copper top. I'm familiar with the copper thesis, but I wonder if you can tell us, what is the copper thesis from you? Why is copper demand going to go through the roof over the next couple of decades?
I think it's because of electrification of the world. Like most of the energy is going into renewables, and I think that China has proved that it's going to be electricity. So you imagine like in 5 to 10 years, everything will be full with AI. We will have robots everywhere. So what's the common denominator amongst those is intelligence, and it's probably the materials, and all of that, everything around that will need copper. And the funny thing is, we don't have enough copper. And even if we do have, it's getting every year more expensive to dig it out, even to research about new deposits and all of that is getting exponentially more expensive. And the demand is actually going exponentially to up and to the right. So you figure it out, like supply demand is going to go bonkers. And already a lot of experts talk about this. It's probably not going to happen like too sudden, but the suppliers, the mining companies, all of them are preparing for that. And they are preparing for like a supply shock that will hit the markets. And it will probably won't be so nice for the consumer because it will make prices of everything go up. Like everything that has electricity and needs electricity will go up. And what is happening right now is that probably the big AI, big bucks guy will beat the copper higher. And so consumer products will have to either find a new solution, which is practically impossible, or be even higher. So yeah, it's going up.
Yeah,
It's the bull thesis, and this is not my thesis. Like J.P. Morgan, Goldman Sachs, you have like even I don't know, you have a lot of like experts around the world talking about this, and it's something that people that know about copper, like copper guys, talk about it. So yeah, and it's happening like throughout the history because it's cyclical. But right now with AI, it's just going bonkers. Yeah.
And so for the kind of average man or woman out there, how can they get involved with copper right now? Like, what's the existing solution either for someone in South America or someone in Europe, somewhere in America or Africa or anywhere in the world? How do they kind of join in on this, this huge sweeping change with this ascending price in copper? How do people get involved now?
I think that for the first world countries, it's kind of easy. You just go into Robinhood and buy like an ETF related copper, or like you can buy mining stocks, which is really popular in Canada. Like Canada is super, their economy is super centered around commodities, mining, all of that. So they are used to it. But outside of Canada, for example, in Europe, I'm not quite sure. Probably you have like a few ETFs, indexes, and all of that. But for people in third world countries or like emerging markets, you don't have that kind of offering. Probably through a broker, you can have access to the same stocks. But buying mining companies' stocks, you have like a risk of the company execution, right? So even today, you don't have a direct spot exposure to copper, which is where is all of the upside resides on the price of the copper, basically. That's why we're building this. It's just you go into your phone and you buy copper. That's it. Price go up, everyone's happy, you know? And what we are building is not a synthetic, it's not a perps, which we do have now, like Ostium and probably Hyperliquid will eventually list the copper ticker, but you don't have digital ownership on that. So you can get liquidated, like, you know how perps work. So I will say it's not the best for mass adoption outside of crypto.
Yeah. Just specifically, tell me about that. So you've been very clear, both in public statements, in the documentation, and the way that you're building Tellura as a business, that it isn't synthetics. It is LME-backed copper. It's real copper that literally, and I think you even say it has a serial number on or something crazy like that. Like it's literally, there's a consignment, a crate that is, ours, yours, etc. Why did you decide to go down that route rather than the synthetic route?
Because I've seen what happens with synthetics. Like I have been to crypto meltdowns, I have been to the USD peg, and also this is an industry that is mostly middle-aged to more older people. So when we pitch the idea, they are like, okay, what the is a stablecoin? What the is Bitcoin? This is pure scam. Like they all know about crypto, that is pure scams and all of that. And I do believe that for the general public is like that.
Yeah.
Like they see crypto as a huge scam. And if you try to sell, hey, this is kind of the price of copper, it can go up, it can go down. Probably it will go to zero if someone hacks the Oracle or something like that. It's super risky, I will say. And we don't want to do that. We want to go the Tether gold or the Paxos blueprint, which you actually have, that the gold is there. You know that the T-bills are there. So for Tellura, you know that the copper is there. Like you have the serial number, you have the contract. You can verify even on the London Metal Exchange website that is there, is sitting in the vaults.
Yeah, really cool that you've taken that approach. And interesting to hear why, specifically around that kind of public perception. You're building this as a public good to be able to allow people to get into copper and doing it in a way that is the safest and the way that can be, trusted and verified. Yeah, really, really important.
Exactly.
Now, in terms of, I'd love to talk to more about the solar element and the compute element, but I think, the Plums podcast, we often want to hear from founders about things that are challenging them. If you're willing to share, what's holding you back now from, moving to the next step as a business? What challenges are out there that you're willing to share with us?
I would say that the most challenging part, being a crypto native developer, is like the legal aspect of everything. Like for me, it's just, I will just create a contract address, I will mint, I will buy the copper or whatever, and that's it. But now you can't do that. You need to have like a protected businesses structure in certain region. You have to comply with the UK, with the EU, with the US. Like you can't just launch a product and that's it. I would love to go that route, honestly, but I don't think it's the most that will gain massive adoption. Like if you're going to have like local channels to distribute, like distribution channels, they will probably ask for a license. Or who the fuck are you that want to sell copper? You're like an anon dev. It won't happen. It won't happen. Like Paxos and Tether works because they are a super legit institution. Paxos has like a license in New York even for like custody, so they're super legit. So I think that's the most challenging part, but luckily we are super advanced in crypto. Like we have legal teams right now working because actually we have the legislation. Like every country is talking about stable coins, RWAs, and all of that. So in a way, it's super positive, but it's the thing that slows us more is all the legal aspect of everything.
Yeah. It's good to hear that you're on top of it, and I know you're on top of it. But as you say, it's one of those fun things where, as we've, you and I over the last however many years have been moving more and more of our life on chain, you kind of forget because it's so permissionless. we literally do whatever we want on chain, right? We're moving stuff around, we're doing things, and we don't need to ask anyone, right? And but when you're building, as you are, a protocol that is interacting with the real world, with serious big institutions, they still expect you to have legal arrangements, business, where are you domiciled, all these things, to make sure that you have safeguards in place for customer assets, all these kind of things. Whereas, for you and I, for ourselves, we just crack on. Yeah, cool. Good. Yeah. Okay, well, Soto, we're coming to the end of our session. We do have our final game, how big are your plums? And so this is a truth and dare. And as our listeners know, these are actually set by other founders. They put them forward. They don't get to choose who gets them, but they give me a list. And so I've got some here for you, and I think you've got some nice ones here, Soto. You're going to be fine with these. But if you want to back out, you can back out now and do a giveaway for our listeners, or you can back out when when we get to the dare stage. Are you happy that we proceed?
Let's do it. How terrible can it be?
Okay. So the truth, let's see how big Soto's plums are, those Latino plums. Do not Google that, listeners. Or Latino plums.
No.
That'd be even worse. Okay. What was the dumbest thing you bought during a bull market because you thought you were a genius?
Oh, probably, I don't know, probably like super early AI stuff. Like I knew that probably around last cycle, like it was just vaporware and I bought it anyways. But I think that the most stupid thing I bought was wheat coin, like on Binance Smart Chain, like, oh, this is going to super go memetics and all of that. Wait, and it rugged in like 10 seconds. Like it automatically rugged. But I think
Many
that
such cases
kind
for
of
so many of us. Yeah.
take stuff that I didn't know much about it, and I just bought it because I thought, this is the future, blah, blah, blah. And it just went to zero in like a month or two. But I will say stuff like that.
Yeah, okay, cool. Okay, so we're going to move on to the dare stage now. And again, you have the opportunity not to do this, but we want a serious giveaway for the listeners. And this is going to call for some theatrics from you, Soto. So we want you now to shill Tellura in the cringiest influencer voice possible for at least 10 seconds, okay? So we want super cringe, last cycle YouTuber voice.
I can do it. I can do it. I just literally can do it. I can imagine doing it now and then. I will have to do a giveaway.
Oh yes, let's go giveaway.
I'd rather do a giveaway.
What are we giving away? What's the giveaway?
We can give away some pre-trillions NFTs. We can give away some copper token as well, so people can test it out.
Nice.
But I will rather do that than talk like. I was thinking about this guy. How was this guy that did like the cameo? I think he died. Rest in peace.
Oh yeah, Crypto Nick. Yeah, Crypto Nick did. That's sad. Nice. I think about him quite a lot actually.
He was super cool.
Yeah, we saw his weight plummet over time, but we didn't know he was ill. And I don't know I don't actually know how he died, but he did some really good cameos. But yeah, he used to do some good stuff. Okay, so we're gonna do a giveaway. We'll do so we say two pre-trillions NFTs and two what size are the kilogram what are the copper, what's the denomination of them?
One token is 1 pound of copper, which is right now it's like 5 USD kind of.
Okay. So how many pounds are we going to do in this giveaway? What do you think?
I don't know. Whatever you think is fine.
Okay, let's do 20 pounds.
Okay.
20. Yeah, so 2 tokens, 4 tokens. Yeah, right. Is that right?
20.
The maths?
1 token is 1 pound.
Oh,
so if we do 20 tokens.
20 tokens. Okay,
Perfect.
20 tokens over 2. We'll do 4. 4 people can win. There's the pre-trillions, and that's awesome. Cool.
Yep.
I feel like it's my responsibility now to do the cringiest influencer voice possible for 10 seconds for Tellura.
If you want to do it, I feel free to do it.
Okay, let's get into it. Okay. It's got copper, it's got solar, it's got compute, and it's going to the fucking moon!
Nah, you did it right. It's like in your blood, baby. Were you a YouTuber last cycle? Kind of like.
I'm a YouTuber this cycle, thumbnails? Hopefully. I'm trying. Oh, the thumbnails. Yeah, we got the thumbnail for this like, one. Yeah. Good. Okay, guys. Really good to have you on, Soto. Really appreciate you coming on, Plums. You've been a fantastic guest. We've had a lot of fun, and I know a lot of our listeners are going to want to learn a bit more about Tellura. They'll follow you on X, etc. But really good to spend some time with you. Thanks very much for coming on.
Oh, thank you so much, Barry. It was super fun, and I'm looking forward to see more Latinos related content soon.
Plums Latinos
edition. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Thanks again.
You will regret it. Don't do it.
Final comments from Soto. Do not Google Latino plums. That's the takeaway of today.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah, good. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
The information and discussion provided here is for educational and entertainment purposes only and should not be considered financial advice. Berry is not licensed to provide investment advice and does not offer such. Berry typically holds positions in the project and protocols he discusses and discloses that to you here. Opinions expressed by guests are theirs alone and do not necessarily reflect the views of Berry, Plums, or their affiliates. As with all things, and especially financial matters, please do your own research and consult with professionals where relevant.